I just want to explain something really, really quick. I've been going through this process of direct seeding plants, and I've been experimenting with wobblers, overhead irrigation sprinklers, and also micro sprinklers. And what I've come to find that works in our operation, the best, that saturates our beds the best, is the mini wobblers. So here is what the beds look like off of being direct seeded and me using overhead irrigation with a mixture of mini wobblers. This is what it looks like. So we get some germination, but then it's really, really spotty. It's coming in. Then the plants are coming in here. I've actually reseeded multiple times. Here, same thing here with the spinach. You can see they're slowly starting to come in right here. So what I'm finding out is the mini wobblers, and I use the gold tip ones here. The beds here are, the houses are 14 feet wide, but I've had the sprinklers on for about 10 minutes in this house here, and this is what it looks like. Look how saturated the soil is. And it's not just a saturation for the top layer. It also gets it saturates a little bit deeper than the overhead sprinklers. So what I'll do in here now that these mini wobblers are in, I'll finish weeding a little bit more. And then I will go ahead and plant in here. The mini wobblers are helping us turn that corner from having so much plant loss and having issues with the groundhogs. So that system that I use for the mini wobblers, I put them on a 1-inch line, and I'll show you here. This is the 1-inch line right here. This is the 1-inch line right here. All this white tube, and you can get it in black as well. And then I use the gold tip wobblers for a 14 foot wide house. Here it is right here. This is the mini wobbler right here. And I get these, and I'll put a link in the comments, from Berry Hill Irrigation. And you probably could find one in a local store near you. Well, that's just the closest one to us. The issue that I found with that setup though, and my larger houses like this one here, we're just getting tomatoes and peppers out, they didn't saturate the end beds. So you may need to move to a lavender tip for your wobbler to get you more saturation and to get you more distance. But I know for the 14-foot one, and as we can see here, that this helps. This saturates the bed a whole lot better. And just to show you the difference in germination, this was arugula here on the overhead irrigation. This is the arugula looks like here. And this has been planted multiple times. It's this row right in front of us. And this is what that same arugula looks like. Same seed. That was planted, that took me about a week and a half just to get that. So we need more water in there. So I'll move that system in there. This is what the same bed looks like in this house here. You see the difference in the consistency? And we have radishes coming up here. It took a little bit longer, but here's some more arugula. It's a little spotty, but by tomorrow or the day after, I expect to see more. I expect to see it fill in more. So what I'm noticing with our setup here at the farm, that it'll be good for me to use this big greenhouse here as a baby greens house, and for us to slowly transition the houses here to the same wobbler system. And they're about, I think, 5 feet apart, which on a 100-foot house you'll need, no, not, they're larger than 5. They might be, let me go look. So I don't want to misquote you all. and have you order the wrong thing. So you would need 20 of them, which isn't correct. That's why I stopped. These are about 10 feet apart. 5, 10, no, I'm sorry, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So 5, that's 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're about 20 feet apart. Each one of these bars is 5. So about 20 feet apart. So you need about 5 per house. I have 7 on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 on this one. And that was just because I was trying to accommodate this house. So I'll come in and plug some of these up. But I think down the line, and as we keep doing this, it'll help. And then also your evaporation rate is also important. So as I'm here and looking at these wobblers in this house, I'll know how quickly the water evaporates, which would tell me when to cut them on again. And it's a whole lot slower. In the overhead in these houses, it looks like it was about 5 to 10 minutes, and the beds were bone dry again. But in here, and I have the shade cloth on, I'll probably get I mean, it's cloudy today. I don't know tomorrow if it's sunny. So I don't want to misquote you all, and I'll just put that. I'll just answer it in the comments or with a question. But what I'm just trying to give you all is like the specifics of building these out, because the farmer who actually gave me this idea, I think he only has 5 of these per house. So he does his every 20 feet. But then for us, I have 8, just because I noticed that in this house here, it was the end walls weren't getting watered well enough. But I will say that this will be our setup for when we're just trying to get the seeds germinated. Then I'll go back to my drip irrigation here, right here. I'll go back to this. But for now, just to get them germinated, the wobblers are what work best. And I'm just looking at just like playing with crunching numbers and playing with just the houses that we have. I'll probably spend my week just rebuilding these systems out in the tunnels, and it doesn't take long. I'll just buy the stakes, and I have some wobblers already on the gold tip. But then what I'll do is I'll just build these out. It'll probably take me an hour. And then I use a green water hose here on the 3/4 inch line here. And I put this on a 10 PSI regulator, which is here. The reason I do this to regulate the pressure is because, one, it only needs to be 10 PSI. Higher pressure will wear these mini wobblers out, or any sprinkler you have out if it's not on the right PSI. But also, so my well just won't keep pumping water, and it just keeps spitting out as much water as possible. I've had that issue before here at the farm with me just not having a regulator on, and I'm just like, oh, these sprinklers look powerful. But then the well's just pumping, and eventually I end up with an error where I just don't have enough, I waste too much water. So the 10 PSI regulator helps you regulate water. So I'm actually going to turn my sprinklers on, my overhead sprinklers on right now for about 15 minutes. And then I'm going to redirect my water. And then I'll show you all the saturation that we get on these houses compared to the other houses that we're using. So, I mean, other houses that we're watering. So I'll just go back. I watered this house about 20 minutes ago. And it's still, the soil's still moist. And I'm actually ready to plant some Hackeri turnips on this empty row. So this house is gonna come out to look very nicely for us. And then I'm gonna compost. I'm gonna get this row right here. I'm gonna get it composted, and then I'm gonna replant another baby green here. Same thing with the okra. So we're gonna be baby green farmers heading to the winter. I'll get a couple of transplants, and the reason that this has worked out for us. So everything, I believe, does happen for a reason, and it allows us to reflect. That groundhog pushed us not to get any transplants in. And because we didn't have any transplants in, I then moved to figuring out how to get baby greens in, because these aren't as desirable for the groundhog right now as the transplants are. So now that I'm getting this growth back, I'm now looking at, okay, we'll probably just keep this house full of baby greens, and then we'll transition to transplants and probably houses 1 and 2. But this house, along with 3 and 4, will all be baby greens, and then houses 1, 2, 5, and 6 will be transplants. And then I keep us in a consistent rotation. And then now we're more flexible with the bed saturation with what crops we can do. I'm excited about doing carrots. That's the crop that I'm very excited about. So as we continue to build these systems out, I'll just keep you all updated, just in case anybody else has this problem, and I'll try to help as much as possible. But don't think I got this right on the first try. This probably took me like 4 years to learn, and it's just part of me, like negligence and like not paying attention to detail. But this is what the overhead sprinklers look like, and you can just compare for yourself. This is how they look, and you can compare it for yourself if this is something that you would want to employ. But I think with the mini wobblers, you don't need these sprinklers. I actually may be tempted to cut this line down and then just convert it to a mini wobbler setup, and then move on from there, rather than build the system out. I may just go ahead and take all my overhead ones, drop them down, they're already on a 1-inch line, and convert them into a mini wobbler setup, and then just go ahead and keep on planting. So if you all got any questions, let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all later.